Hi guys, Evie here. After watching this video, you will know everything about Mercury Glittering Era, one of the SSR suits loaded into our archive during the last update. It was debuted on the CN servers in a single SSR Pavilion. Glittering Era is a purple or sexy SSR. This suit has 10 items and all 10 items have stronger recolors. We're going to take a look at the original, Awakened versions, and much more. First, let's take a look at the original suit in all 4 skin tones. We have Moonlight 2, Nikki's base skin tone, Glowing Ardor, and Passion Rhythm from left to right. Before I start reviewing this outfit, I just want to say, I'm a huge fan of the 20s, so I'm really biased. I love everything about the 20s, no matter it's the Roaring 20s in America or the 20s Republican era in China. So it's definitely a must-have for me whenever Paper releases anything that's inspired by 20s fashion. Also, not going to lie, I screamed a little when I saw this in our index because this is a fairly new suit on the CN servers, so I didn't expect it to arrive so early. Starting from the visible items, I adore this coat. I love fluffy things and I love wearing oversized clothes. So this coat, oh my god, so big and fluffy. Then the dress is really unique and pretty. Don't worry, I know everything's covered up by the coat. I'll show you guys a preview of individual items later in the video. The dress is so detailed that you can see all the elements and textures clearly. The hairstyle is nice as well, but I feel like it makes some of Nikki's eyebrows look weird. But that's just a minor issue because we'll have so many eyebrows to pick from later in the game. I was not the biggest fan of the shoes when I put them on Nikki's original skin tone, but they look so gorgeous on darker skin tones. So I'm excited to play around with them. Here are showcases of the Unawakened individual items. I love how Paper didn't go for the lazy route to just make a simple dress, since it gets covered by the coat anyways, but this dress is actually thoughtfully designed and beautiful on its own. So the accessories from this suit are really pretty, but I also felt that they're kind of filler items, if that makes sense. Like, upon first glance, I wouldn't say I see all 10 items. There are so many items that are not visible or not noticeable, and removing them could make this suit easier to complete. But again, I'm a big fan of suits that have tons of items, and I love versatile accessories, so I'm not mad about that. Let's then awaken it. Here's a side-by-side comparison of Glittering Era and Twilight Era. I love how different the Unawakened and Awakened suits are. I absolutely love both of these. Can't wait to get them in the game. The white and yellow or gold suit now turns into yellowish because of the coat, and red. I'm so excited about this suit, but also I'm probably not going to awaken this right away because I feel like the most used item for me is this huge fluffy coat. It goes with other gowns, especially off-the-shoulder gowns like the Startide Dream dress, but I actually like the original white version more because the yellow version looks kind of dirty when you style it with different things. However, the rest of the suit has too much of a defined style. Like whenever you put Nikki in the dress, it's way too obvious that she's in something vintage. There's just no way of styling the dress and not making it look like a vintage inspired glamorous gown. I'd say go for this suit if you like the 20s inspired clothes like me. If not, I don't think it's worth it to complete the entire thing. We can get dupes for the bag, earrings, bracelet, gloves, and shoes. It's probably hard to find a dupe for the neckwear, but the rest can be easily replaced by other things, or you don't even need to put Nikki in them because you won't see them. Here are showcases of all the Awakened individual items. Oh gosh, I forgot about the ring again. Honestly, I had no idea that this suit had a ring until I checked the archive. I always double check how many items a suit has before making everything about videos, and I didn't notice the ring at all. And I was so shocked by how this suit had 10 items. I was like, what? All I see are the hair, shoes, dress, coat, bag, earrings, and necklace. Let's now move on to reflection, archiving, cost of the event, and more. First, let's take a look at the Unawakened cover art on the left and Awakened on the right. aren't they just so beautiful? You can find high quality versions of these in my Discord server under the wallpaper channel. The link is in my video description. Here's the Awakening rewards order when you level up Glittering Era and awaken it to Twilight Era. This set has 10 pieces total and all 10 pieces have stronger recolors. Spoiler alert, none of the items are strong, but I love how they all have a recolor. This is a 10 seconds buffer reflection, meaning when you use the reflection skill, it gives you a buff that lasts 10 seconds. This isn't very good in the arena because of the way arena calculates scores, but it's strong when you are clearing stages manually or using it in the memory stairway, as it has a different way of calculating your battle rating. So starting from top to bottom, the green line is Mercury Startide Dream, the V level reflection. This is the strongest purple reflection on global so far. If you have this, you can awaken it, so there's not much to talk about it, as it's the last item you get through the V level rewards. Then the orange line is Lilith's Voice of Desire. This is probably what a lot of people are using right now. It's pretty strong and good in the arena, especially if you can awaken it. The blue line is Vaporwave Dream, the free arena UR reflection from Season 2. I recommend awakening this no matter what because the items are high scoring and it's a decent scoring reflection as well. Then we have the SSRs. The purple line is Nikki Summer Sea Breeze. Many SSRs that have an extra round of Shining Moment or those that increase your Shining Moment score are pretty similar when used in the arena, so I only put this here as a reference. At the bottom, it seems like Brown Cross, but it's actually Caprico Fleeting Time right on top of Mercury Glittering Era, our main focus today. Even though this is at the bottom of the graph, they're still not the worst reflections to use and are still decent. They are stronger in Memory Stairway as I talked about before and okay in the arena. I just didn't include the weaker ones in this graph, like 20-second buffers or like debuff removal or shield reflections. Now that we've learned all about the notable reflections, let me walk you through my thought process. For whales, the strongest purple reflection in the game so far is Mercury's Startide Dream. If you're a whale and you're probably at level 5 of its Call of Reflection right now, if you're a new whale, you could save up some UR crystals for when the devs expand the V level rewards, as the strongest purple reflection on CN is the next V level reflection by Leonid. If you're a new whale who will get Startide Dream really soon, but want a reflection to use, I recommend using any SSR that you want to get the recolor of. For dolphins, if you want to use UR reflections, you could use Lilith's Voice of Desire if you can awaken it, but if you can, then use Vaporwave Dream is a great option for now till we get stronger Event Pavilion reflections in the future, because those are easier to awaken compared to Lilith's Voice of Desire. If you can awaken Lilith's Voice of Desire, I recommend looking at the graph and see where you can get to in terms of Call of Reflection skill level, as it's much cheaper to level up Aeon's Call of Reflection from the arena than pulling in Sea of Fantasy. I don't recommend using SSRs because they're pretty expensive to max out and only maxed out ones are usable now that we're like 1 year into the game, and they'll slowly be weaker and weaker in the long run. But if you're a new player, I recommend using an SSR that you can complete and that you like the recolor, so you won't waste any gems or keys in the long run. For F2Ps or players that want to spend as little as possible, even though I've seen F2P players getting higher levels of Call of Reflection for Lilith's Voice of Desire, it's unlikely as you'd have to be extremely lucky. So I think it's better to save those gems that you'd spend in Sea of Fantasy struggling for an echo for Lilith for future events. Future UR events or just anything new, since this is a dress-up game and I think it's more worth it to spend the gems you saved on new clothing items. For SSRs, I recommend just using any that you could awaken. Do not use debuff removing or shield reflections though. You could even use 20-second buffer reflections, as even though they're the weakest out of the decent arena reflections, they're still not that bad. Being able to awaken the reflection you're using is more important. Now moving on to item raw scores. The coat isn't very good scoring. You can't style it with Lilith's Voice of Desire dress, but you can wear it with Aeon's Vaporwave Dream dress. So I'd say it's good if you don't have the 3 better coats above it. However, Caprico is easy to get, and you can wear that with Lilith's Voice of Desire dress. So I still don't recommend getting this coat scoring wise. Here's the first half of the shoes chart. As you can see, even the Awakened shoes are really low ranked on the chart. I would definitely go for the Awakened version of Aeon's Arena UR shoes, or a lot of you probably have Lilith's Awakened shoes as they're fairly easy to get. Here's the second half of the shoes chart. The handheld item isn't bad, but if you have a lot of UR accessories already, then this isn't worth getting, as only 5 accessories scores will be counted towards the final battle rating. The gloves are pretty bad scoring since we have Aeon's free Arena UR suit already. If you don't have that, I still recommend getting it or waiting for a future UR Pavilion. This is the first part of the special accessories chart. Twilight Era is Awakened suit. It's pretty low on the list, so I'd say the special item is really low scoring. Here's the second part of the special accessories chart. Now, bracelets don't seem like they're bad scoring, but as I've said before, the game only counts 5 accessory scores, so this isn't worth getting. Neckwear isn't good either. Earrings are pretty bad scoring, especially when you have more than 5 UR accessories. Here's the dress raw score part 1, and not even the Awakened dress made it onto the first part of the list, which means it's pretty low scoring. Here's the second part. The hairstyle isn't good either. I highly recommend getting Aeon's hairstyle in the arena because it's the best scoring hair for people who have not yet awakened Star Type Dream, which is most of us. If you are a new player and want to spend as little Flowers of Oats as possible, get Aeon's dress and get the Memory Stairway version of the hairstyle because that's the highest scoring one. And it's even higher scoring than Star Type Dream's hair. Here are all the resources needed to level up or awaken Glittering Era in ShiningNikki. Here's the pose you can get through this event. It doesn't come with a pre-made handheld, so it works with a lot of different handhelds, which is really nice. It's part of a side quest mission thing when you get 140 points when you complete certain tasks through the event, and you'll be able to claim this pose. If you do not plan to spend anything in the pavilion, you will be able to get this pose eventually when you complete all story stages, share posters, sweep challenge stages daily, and pulled in the pavilion with the 5 free tickets. This is the suit completion pose. Like the pose I talked about in the Spirit of Anuva video, you can get an animated pose to use in the photo studio when you complete this suit. It's a newer mechanic that the devs added. I'm not sure when it'll make its way onto global, but it's worth checking out now as it will arrive eventually. I hope. I think it will. This pose came with those built-in handbags. However, you can change the color to the recolored or the original, and you can also take off the handbag, which is really handy because the handbag is not that cute. And it doesn't go with a lot of different outfits. I want to show you guys a zoomed in version because it's easier to see all the profile avatar potentials this way. Also, these suit completion poses are usually the pose you can see when you put Nikki in the entire suit in the dressing room. Here's the background and stickers we can get through this event. It's really unique and nice. It's also not way too complicated and actually has some depth to it, which I love. This is only a photo studio background though. You can get this for free as well. You can get the stickers through sharing and completing tasks in the side quest thing, and the background for free there as well. Here's a list of estimated pulls and costs. This suit has 10 items, so it would probably take more pulls than usual single SSR pavilions. However, this is just an estimate. You could be extremely lucky or unlucky. I hope we can all be super lucky though, fingers crossed. Like a lot of newer SSR pavilions, this event also comes with a mini cumulative recharge. The total is about $20 and you can get 10 event tickets, some frozen hearts, rare, reflection upgrading materials, and gold. Let me show you what the pavilion looks like since I recorded the return of this event on CN. So this is what you'll see when you enter the event. You can share posters and get 2 stickers on the top left corner. Then the bottom under it is the time tasks where you could get rewards, background, and the pose. The third button is parties. Check out other people's parties and claim rewards here, or start your own when you complete the suit. Exchange rewards in the shop on the bottom left corner with currencies that you get through sweeping challenge stages during the event. This button right here shows you the story stages, and the bottom right corner here takes you to the challenge stages. Don't forget to sweep these daily. The bottom right button takes you to the pavilion itself. Let's check out the pavilion pool. This suit is indexed in federal style, and you can get 150 pink gems upon completion of this suit. It is archived in Loudon Street. This archive has no URs on global and CN, like 0, so it's pretty useless. I'd say the only good thing about it is that it has a really cute title when you collect a certain amount of suit in this archive. Other than that, you don't have to complete the suit for the archiving experiences. We might get good URs here in the future, but not very likely. I don't know what the depth will do in the future, but it's useless as of now. Alright, that is it for this video. I hope my video was helpful. Do you like this suit? Are you going to try polling for it? I'd love to know what you think. Let's chat in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye!